Hey, how are we all? Welcome guys to one of my first interviews that I'm going to be doing for the Network Marketing Mum Success Stories interviews. And I cannot wait to interview the amazing Tracey Rose. I love doing stuff like this so we can, as mums, we can really see that this type of business model and the home business industry can work for us. So I am excited to get you all on here and to make sure that you guys can see that this is possible and that there are people out there who are having amazing success with this, and people that really can show us all of their nuggets, their tips and their strategies to get this running. So I can't wait to interview Tracey. I really have so much excitement and gratitude to be able to have her on here so we can learn from her. She is someone I look up to a lot, and she's someone that I really feel we can all learn something from. Hello Tracey, how you going? You're on. I'm going to bring you on the camera now. Here she is.
Hi.
How you going? It worked. Yes. How you going, Tracey? Thank you so much for doing this for us. I really appreciate all of your efforts and everything that you do, but I appreciate you being on here. So thank you so much for jumping on and taking this time out of your day so we can learn from you.
How exciting. Thank you. I'm appreciative that you even asked. I was like, yay. And it's funny because I've been asked for about 3 interviews in the last week, and I was like, okay, something's going on here. Like, this is cool.
Got to listen to those little nuggets that that is so cool. All right.
Going with the flow of the universe and just listening. Yeah. Like, this is the next step. This is the next step. This is the next step.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things I love about Tracey, obviously, guys, is just that she's all about intuition, all about the gut, and not forcing things, with the network marketing way that we do, or with prospecting and with following up and all those sorts of things. I do love that Tracey does a lot of things with flow and with gut intuition more so than force. And so I want to hear more about that, Tracey. But before we go into that, can you please just introduce yourself properly? What is your background, why you love network marketing, or why you've chosen this profession? Thank you.
Hi, well, thank you, and hi to everyone joining on. I appreciate you listening. Hope I can give you some value. So a bit of background, if you've never met me before, if we've never connected on Facebook probably, or YouTube is where I normally hang out. My background actually was in the radio industry. And I didn't start at the top. I actually started in the promo team. So if you guys ever wanted an icy cold can of Coke from the radio station, that was me. Started like in the promo teams, and I was like, oh, after a while I thought I need to use my brain. So I went into the newsroom, and I would just rewrite all the scripts for all the newsreaders for the breakfast shows and whoever was on. Basically, I was like working for free. I would get there at night or in the early in the morning, and I'm like, can I rewrite that for you? Can I rewrite this? And they were, sorry, I've just put some peppermint and I put it way too close to my eye. Don't do that. Yeah, sort of worked my way up the ranks. Worked in Sydney radio, Brisbane radio, did a little stint in Canberra. Just like work was crazy and fun. Like I was the typical career chick. Like when my mum would ask me about when am I going to have grandkids, and I was like, I'm going to breed dogs, and she's like, stop, don't say that to me. And like I would just say it as a bit of a joke, because I'm like, Mum, I'm not having kids for ages, like just don't look at me for that. So it was funny. But then like I was running newsrooms, I would do great. One minute I would be doing court reporting, the next minute I would be at state parliament, the next minute I would be chasing a politician through a hotel to get it, like the funniest things. Hey, like my work was really fun.
Random.
Yeah, totally random. I'd be going on doing sporting teams. Yeah, just really cool stuff. I was really, really lucky to have that job, but and it was like full on work. And I guess this is where I learned some discipline, okay? Because when you walk into a newsroom, if you're working in the newsroom, especially when I started doing afternoon shifts. And I would walk in, I had an hour and a half usually to my first bulletin, and then it was hourly deadlines. And then when it came to prime time, like would be half-hour deadlines. And everyone's like, what do? Your bulletin's only 3 minutes. But it's like, it's mental in the newsroom. You do not stop. So that was kind of my work. And had kids and fully expected to be going back to part-time work within probably about 6 months. But my daughter, who is my first child, her name is Honey Rose, and she was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. And if you don't know what that is, it's kind of hard to explain. It's a degenerative disease that affects a lot of organs in the body, but especially the lungs and the digestive system. So it's pretty serious. It can be, it's life-shortening for most people. Luckily, we've gotten life-saving medication. Her prospects of her life is very normal, but still, like, that didn't happen until years down the track, by the way. So
wow,
if you can imagine getting a diagnosis, and it was so unexpected. It just blew my world apart. I was just, overwhelmed, stressed, like, what the hell? I don't even know what that is. I had to go look and Google. And when you're just told your kid has a disease or a condition, you should not go to Google because you think they're going to die the next day, pretty much. It's horrible. It's horrible. So, that just took so much time to get over and to kind of get used to. So
go the oil.
So I was like, oh crap, I can't really go read the news or write the news for Sydney if, like, my kid is sick. Like, I would start, I think at that time I went to go back to work and I was going to do weekend breakfast news for Sydney and Brisbane, and working from the Sydney newsroom. And it was really hard because, like, she might be sick overnight, but there's only so many people that can do that kind of job, and especially at short notice. So it's not like I'm doing an administration job where I'm not coming in today, someone can just get a temp, and not discounting those roles at all. I've been in admin, but there's not many people that can write and read the news for Sydney for, like, main radio stations. Do you know what I mean? And my boss is like, you have to, my boss is like, you have to call it out early. And I was like, how? That's just not really conducive with my lifestyle with a kid that's potentially going to be in and out of hospital a lot. And at this stage, she wasn't really that sick. So we really didn't understand the ramifications of the condition at that time, but it was very stressful. We're going in and out for hospital visits all the time. So anyway, fast forward, as you can imagine, what do you do at that kind of life crisis moment is you go looking online. How do you make money online? A friend had introduced us to a network marketing company. Really grateful for that company, but definitely not the approach that I wanted to take. I remember sitting in a room and have my list of 100 people, and we had our phones there, and we were just told to just dial and get people to a home meeting. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is just so cringeworthy. People I hadn't spoken to for 10 years, and I was just like full cold call. It was not nice. Like, it actually, like, it can work if you approach it in the right way. It absolutely can work. But
you've got to have a lot of posture at the start to do that. And most people that start network marketing don't have that posture straight away. So it's always going to be a negative outcome, I feel, to do that straight up.
It wasn't a positive experience. It wasn't like, yay, let's do this again. And I was like, I'm pretty sure there's other ways to earn money from home. But anyway, but I had friends going, and I wasn't allowed to say what it was. So it was this awkward, like, I didn't feel confident in not even telling people. So it was just, it was not something clearly I wasn't going to keep doing. I was like, I'm going to go look online. And I went into another company, which was a high ticket sales company. And I did well in that. So I was making regular sales every month, bringing people in. But you don't have to bring in that many people for that kind of company because it's big ticket items, right? Mm-hmm. So, minimum $1,000 commission is the base. Okay.
Wow.
So, Yeah. So that was cool, but that company died.
Oh.
The company shut down. And guess what? This was a defining moment, because this is where I learned that I put out all this marketing about this company. And this is when all that shut down, I lost all of that. And I was like, oh, so that's what they mean by brand yourself, not the company.
Damn
Right?
it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So I had heard about this like attraction marketing, which is what I do now, which is really branding you as the person. Because if we think about it, we all sell the same stuff. Like, there's a gazillion people in my company, we all sell the same stuff. So how do I differentiate? Well, you kind of brand yourself, and it's not as hard as you think. But anyway, I then started going, okay, I'm going to brand me, and sort of deliver value in a way that wasn't naming my company all the time, spamming my company all the time. So, and I flitted between a few different companies before I found something. Sorry, no, this is a long version. I went actually out of network marketing for a while, and I started my own baby business. So I'd had really great births with my two
Right.
kids. I did hypnobirthing, which I was like, this is amazing. Why doesn't everyone know about this? And by that stage, I'd learned a bit of marketing. And so I thought, why don't I do something I'm really passionate about, which is empowering women? And so I started a baby website, and it was ranking. I had videos getting hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. Like, it was super, super cool. I was teaching women classes via Skype in my home. But what I realized is I love it. I love teaching the women, but I loved the marketing of it more.
Yeah.
So, like, I just look up to people who work with pregnant women and women in general. But it wasn't where my genius zone is. It wasn't where I was, like, I liked it a lot, but I didn't love it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And it's always the way when you do something like that, if the passion or the purpose isn't really there, but you're still enjoying it, it's not really fulfilling that, like you say, your genius zone, which means you don't get as good results, do you? Is that how you would look at it as well?
yeah, totally. And I think one of the things is you kind of won't keep going when the times get tough. So that's kind of a measure for me is, I've continued to do the online marketing and network marketing because I'm just so passionate about it. I'm so passionate that, especially women and mums, because obviously that's who I work with mostly, is you don't have to have a fancy degree. You don't even have to be that smart, to be honest, because I kept seeing all these people, and I was like a full snob before, going, I'm way smarter than that person. Like, that's awful, isn't it? But I want to be transparent here and be like, I had a bit of a chip on my shoulder. Like, I thought I was better than other people, and I kept seeing them get results, going, well, clearly it's not how smart you are. Clearly that's not the only thing that helps you become successful, recruit more people, make more money. And I realized that, you've got to be passionate about it and be able to keep doing the things even when you don't feel like it. That's what I think, if you're doing things even when you don't feel like it, because there's this strong why, or there's this strong passion to work with the type of people, or that you love and believe in your product so much, that you just keep going no matter what. That's where, like, you found your zone, I guess.
Yeah. I want to talk about sustainability with you. So all of that is so you, and we can see that through your branding and all of those sorts of things online where we see you all the time. But you've mentioned before to me about building something sustainable, especially because Honey does go to hospital, and you do have to do a lot of things around hospital visits and around her illness. And so can you explain some strategies that we could put in place, or that you actually have in place, to make that happen, like the sustainability of your business?
Yeah, I think first of all, I've been listening to some recordings from Earl Nightingale. I know this is like totally old school. If you've ever heard of Earl Nightingale, he's a big mindset kind of person. He used to be on the radio, so I kind of connected with that as well. And he has this recording called The Magic Word, and the magic word is attitude. And if you think about it, the type of people who continue to be successful in a business despite what's going on are the people that have a good attitude about growth mindset, about doing no matter what, you know, doing things no matter what. If you have a bad attitude, like I can tell if I'm having a week where I'm not getting results. I literally checked in last week and I was like, whoa, what is with my bad attitude? No wonder I didn't feel like doing a video. I didn't want to reach out to people. I didn't want to do any follow-ups because I had a bit of a bitchy attitude about, well, I don't know, just stuff. So attitude is
life.
Yeah, attitude is massive. Like just whatever comes, you just got to like go around it, go under it, go over it, like whatever. Okay. And I realized that you kind of have to, so I guess with attitude is I became open to doing any strategies that were the lowest hanging fruit. And so what I mean by that is it easy to go to your parents or your brother or your sister and ask them to support you in your business? Because I kind of, in the beginning, I didn't have as good an attitude as I do now. So I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm too good to do that. Or I'm not doing that because it's so awkward. And like, I only do online strategies. Okay. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a good attitude about this. And
oh my goodness.
So I blocked myself from really easy things that I just went to my mom last year and I was like, I really want you to support me in my business. And I know you love these products. Like, would you support me? And she's like, of course. And she's like my best customer.
Oh, that is so cool. And you had this whole block.
Yeah, I was totally blocked. So I guess what I'm saying is when you're sustainable is when you go to, you know, when I have to go into hospital, and sometimes we have to go in for a couple of days, sometimes it's a couple of weeks, depending on what's going on, lung procedures, yada, yada, whatever. I was blocking off all these things. So what makes it sustainable is I'm open to doing and receiving whatever comes my way. So to give you an example, I have a business coach. Her name is Natalia, and she's more like business and mindset stuff. She works with the Bob Proctor team and works with Bob personally. So I get all of this stuff, right? And yeah, she asked me to go get, you know, she's like, go get 2 signups this weekend. And I was like, okay. I said, oh, but before you go, have you ever used, you know, these products before? Are you open to having a look at them? She goes, oh, actually. And like, I signed her up. So,
oh my God, that's amazing. Wet. Yeah.
Right. So I guess what the thing is like, because sometimes I can't spend long times at the computer, because I can't do a home class, you know, at this time because we're at hospital, I've got someone on the phone who's open to natural products and open to things that help her with her emotions and things like that as well. And I was like, I've got someone right here. He's a prime, beautiful prospect that I would love to share my products with. Do you know what I mean? So because I've been open and had a better attitude about who I approach, how I approach them, I've been not blocking off opportunities. So
yeah, you got to get out of your own way, don't you?
Yeah, like my mum buys from me, my aunt, all my aunties signed up about 3 weeks ago.
Awesome, that's so awesome.
Yeah, like I asked my mum, I kept saying, Mum, you gotta have a class for me, and I only do classes about once a month. And she's like, fine. I was like, I'm not leaving until we lock in a date in my diary. And you know, Mum and I are very like easygoing, so it depends what kind of relationship you have with your family. But I was like, I'm not going until you have this class. Right? And she's like, fine. So I had what did I have? 9. I had 9 signups out of 10, and I'm still working on the last person. So
you got to get it.
I tell you what, do you know the funny thing is, and I don't know if anyone here is open to doing home classes. I very much was against them in the beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I remember you saying that. You were like, I'm just online. I don't do in-home meetings. And
yeah, because it was home meetings, and the home meeting thing to me is not giving value. It's just a pitch. So when I changed my mindset that mine is a class, People are coming away from this learning from something. They get gifts, they get to make something. Like, they come to it and have a good time. Like, when people come to my class, they're like, at the end, they're like, I had so much fun. It was really cool. Thanks. Da, da, da. And I was like,
yes,
awesome. Okay.
yes,
So
that's so amazing.
If I made it fun, then I will keep doing it. Now, the other things that I do is very much the thing that makes it sustainable for me working in a hospital. I got off my computer and started working out how to make everything work from my phone. Well, I'm on my phone right now, but like this freaking thing, like I'm on it in the waiting room sometimes at hospital. What was I doing? Like I'm following up via Messenger. I call people via Facebook. If I've had a chat, I called you.
Yeah, you did call me.
You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't, hey, I want to pitch you, blah, blah, blah. But if you start to have good connections with people, and then you maybe have something that you can, help them with, why not message them and say, hey, why don't we jump on the phone? Or every now and then, if I have an intuitive hit to call someone, I will literally just call them.
Yes, that's awesome. Go with that feeling, isn't it? They pop into your head. It's for a reason, I feel. Yeah.
I often sit there, and we're in our team. My upline is very like super spiritual goddessy as well, so that's kind of why I really connected with her. And she tells us to sit there often. She's like, just feel into your heart who needs a little note in their inbox today.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that's so nice.
Yes, that's an amazing nugget. Thank you. Yes.
Like, and it doesn't have to be pitching your products. It's just that, hey, how you going about, and not that fake inauthenticness of like, oh, I'm just trying to touch base because eventually I'm going to pitch you something. Like, literally be really from a heart space, I think people can feel that then.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love you to paint a picture for us on a day when you're not with Honey in the hospital, but what is a day and a week? What do they look like to you, or how do you, map out your day and week?
Well, it's been really crazy the last few weeks. So I'm like, I don't remember. We've had so many appointments, and Honey's been off school like so many days in the last week, so it's hard. I guess in my head I always think of, I should have written this down, it's like 4 or 5 things. It's kind of like give value, build your audience, and then communicate with your audience. Okay, so if you can kind of go back to those 3 things all the time. So if I can't put out a video, I will put something from our lives or something that lifts other people up. I will go into Facebook groups and post value. One of the things, and I don't know if everybody knows here, but you and I know, like, we do videos, and videos is something that gives you so much leverage. It's not even funny. So I have rehashed videos that I've done in the past, and it can, and like, if you think about it, there's a billion people on Facebook or whatever there is. It doesn't matter if you repost the same stuff over and over again. I had a really funny conversation with a friend of mine, and she kept getting all these leads and prospects through these Facebook groups from 30 to 60-second videos. And I was like, what are you doing? Right, this is a gold nugget.
Wow.
And she kept posting in these Facebook groups all the time. So groups that you're allowed to post in, okay? So there might be network marketing groups, party plan groups, MLM groups, work from home groups, work at home mum groups, things like that. She was posting, she'd done about 3 to 5 videos, I can't remember. And she was rotating these videos, posting them in these groups each day. And
great idea.
I was like, so like literally wear a jacket and then don't wear a jacket. Like, so it looks like you've done it on a different day, okay? So she had all these little videos, and they were, hey, I can, blah, 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 blah. And it was to lead to a resource. Okay, so if you are doing weight loss type stuff, say a little thing that hooks people in, like, I really used to struggle about, getting my jeans on each year, and I kept having to go up a size each year, until I realized that it doesn't have to be a struggle to lose weight. And I want to share with you how I lost blah, blah, blah kilos in blah, blah, blah months. I've put my story plus a PDF outline of what I do each day via this link. Like, click this link, go get it. Do you know what I mean? So, and depending on what your products is, or depending on if you're, I'll go into that in a second, looking for business builders, that's another thing. And so she would direct people to a link, and it would just be a very, very simple capture page. And don't freak out if you're not techie. Very, very simple capture page where someone puts in their name and email address to download the thing. Now that person is on your list, and instead of calling them and hassling them until you annoy them so much they're like, get away from me, you now have them on your email list, and you can even email them each week with tips and strategies about losing weight, feeling more awake as a mom, and blah, blah, blah. And eventually, like, I've had people sign up that have been following me for a year, or I've had people that sign up, you know, immediately.
Yeah.
But that was her approach with just these 30-second videos. So I use videos a lot. The other thing where it's not so much of a direct download to try and pitch them something straight away is I just do lots of value videos. I use Facebook groups a lot. I've signed up heaps of people via my own Facebook groups doing Facebook challenges. They've worked really, really well. So
that's awesome. What
so
about
I guess
a daily, like your daily method of operation? Do you have something that's structured, like I do these 4 things daily, or anything like that?
Yeah, what I found for myself is I can't structure in when I'm going to do things. So I can't say I've got to do this at this time. I have to work around, because my life is a little bit up and down sometimes. Like, today is a very free day. Not a free day, but do you know what I mean? Like, I've got till 2:15 until I need to go pick up kids and stuff like that, right? So all I know is deliver value, build my list, communicate with my list. And so whenever that gets done in some time of the day, as well as cleaning the house, feeding the cat, learning something new, Daisy requires attention.
If anyone doesn't know, Tracey has a cat called Daisy. Yeah, bring her on. She's like her famous marketing cat. So anything Tracey does, she's usually on the desk or in the videos, or she's usually somewhere that Tracey can see her, and then everyone else sees her. Hi, Daisy.
She's so funny.
Oh, but I can't believe that's part of your, you know, when I bring up your routine, like that's part of your routine. Daisy has to be. I gotta give
Daisy attention. So one of the other things also is, you know, I have a coaching session each week for my coach. I do a team call, which I'm about to run as well for my team once a week. But those 3 things, and I'm also, my other thing that I always put in, I'm always learning something. So I'm always jumping on a video training of maybe one of the people that I follow. And I'm usually reading something out of this book, Think and Grow Rich. Okay, so this is pretty much in a handy spot all the time. I follow Bob Proctor. He has read this book for 50-something years now. Okay, it's a reference book. It's not just this like read it once and put it away. At the moment, I'm reading. See, I do something like this every single day. Okay, at the moment, I'm reading The Confidence Formula, which is, where is it? Anyway, I read it out loud to myself each day. Here it is, Self-Confidence Formula, okay? And I just read this out aloud to myself because, like I'm always doing something. So I will read this every day for the next couple of weeks. And then, you know, is my goal written down? Yes, you know, I've got my vision of what I'm doing and all that sort of stuff. So, does that...
Wow.
There's no structure of when it gets done. It just has, you know, those kind of main things just need to get done sometime in the day.
But that's what I love, and that's the transparency of what I wanted to show people on these interviews is, you know, you've got your, you know, you want to connect with people and then follow up with them or nurture those people as they come into you and that sort of thing. Obviously do your videos and provide value to people, and then reading. Those things are so important to you, but it doesn't matter when they get done. It doesn't have to be structured, because there's so many things that I've learned over the last 3 years that, yeah, it feels like you've got to do this at this time and this has to be done then. And, you know, and I feel that overwhelms us more so than helps us, you know, as a mum, because mums' lives aren't the same every day. Even if you don't have a sick child and you're not in hospital visits and things, we still have, our life isn't like structured. We have kids, you know, so that's why I love your transparency on that, and I thank you so much for that. Another thing I wanted to ask is, what is a non-negotiable for you? So is it reading, or is there something that for you is an absolute non-negotiable every day?
Posting something that is one of the 3 E's that I talk about, which is educational, entertaining, or enlightening/inspiring. So for non-negotiable for me is to continue to share my life or something of one of those things on Facebook at least. Like that's the minimum.
Right.
Another non-negotiable, and that has actually kind of changed about what I post. I don't post about negative stuff. I rarely post about woe is me victim stuff. I don't get angry on social media. When I see people posting like, oh, you know, when people post like really vague stuff because they're just looking for attention, like, no, that's not going to make you attractive to people at all. It's just going to make them go like,
I know what you mean.
I'm not going to get hooked into that one. Like I just don't have time for ridiculous conversations. I'm very, very kind and empathetic, and I'm open to helping people a lot. But you can post a negative experience, but if you don't post about what you learned from that, then it's just whinging.
Yeah. Okay. So true. Yeah.
It's about, I want to leave, and this is something Bob Proctor really harps on about, is I want to leave every person I have an experience with better than when I first interacted with them. So always just sort of lifting people up, even if it's a piece of advice, or just going, you know what, I totally understand how you feel, or interacting with their posts. Like if someone posted something about their kid, like go tell them how cute they are, or how cute the book week costume was, or like good on you, mum, or like lift each other up. Lifting mums up is the best thing. Like you'll create so many amazing friendships. And even if those people don't sign up to your business or buy products from you, they may tell someone, and that's not why I'm doing it, but it makes you feel better anyway doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you become an attractive influencer. So if you want to be an influencer and have people come to you, you want to be lifting other people up and providing value consistently.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I so believe in that. Now we're getting lots of hearts for that one, so it looks like everyone else believes in that as well, which is good. So what do you think your most effective asset or daily action is that contributes to the biggest success you've had? Like what is that one thing?
Videos.
Yeah. I was going to say that myself. I could answer that question for you.
Videos. Like
it's so powerful, isn't it?
I wouldn't have the business that I have if I didn't do videos. Like I go to events and people know who I am, and I'm like, what? That's weird. That's crazy. And you get to, and again, like I have this thing, my friend Kat Mack, we always talk about like our favorite word is leverage. However, as a mum, it should be your favorite word. Like if you're a parent, leverage should be your favorite word. Whatever activity you can do to leverage your time, because time is the most precious thing. People want to earn money, but what do we want? We really want time. Okay.
Yeah.
Want to leverage our time. Videos is like the easiest way to do it. That's it. Like even bad videos, like you should see some of my videos, Janelle, I've got videos here. Let me give you an example of how leverageable this is. I have videos on YouTube between 3 to 5 years ago, and they still bring me leads every day now.
Wow, that's
And they're not
amazing.
even that good videos. Like, they're not fancy at all.
Yeah,
But they continue to build my list every single day. And
that's
I was like,
amazing.
I really should go do 100 more of those.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
because
you
they're
know, like,
working while we sleep, aren't they? You know, we could be doing, you could be at the hospital, or you could be at sleep, or you could be out playing with the kids. Someone's watching that video in America or Canada or somewhere, you know, when you're not even here. So that's the power of leverage. And it's, oh, you do it so well. This is, yeah, that's one of the things that I've always admired about you is your videos and how much you leverage those for your business. And so I'm glad everyone's learning that, because I'm sure if people wanted to learn videos and leverage, they can come to you for your video marketing courses and stuff you do as well, which if anyone is on here and doesn't know that Tracey does those, go and do them. And another thing I wanted to ask is, so when you have those highs, those lows, you know, as not only as parents, but in this industry, in this business, we do have the highs, like the roller coaster ride, right? You know, we have those
yep.
so many ups and downs and different things. And I know you love meditating and all that sort of stuff. And so that's something that I feel would obviously work for you. But how does that impact your mood with parenting, or how do you get out of that funk? I'd love to know that.
First of all, I have a coach, and that's why I
Yeah.
hired her to keep me like.
Yeah.
She really, and my coaching sessions are 15 minutes to half an hour, like, but they're weekly. Okay, so
Right.
however you organize your coaching sessions, whatever, but or someone that you work with. Like, obviously I work with people closely in my team who I'm super close with. They're my big builders, and our language is a really big thing that we need to take care of. So I had tended to overanalyze like what I'd done wrong. Like, well, I've been doing this and that's really not working. And my coach is like, okay, great, but we're not focusing on that anymore. You've done that. Okay, now we're focusing on this. And I was like, okay.
Move on.
So she just really keeps me on track. And so when my team calls me and they're whinging about stuff, and I go, great, I'm giving you this space to whinge, I say, but you know, what can you control out of this? And they're like, oh, nothing. And they're like, oh, well, not how that person reacts, how that. I was like, you can only control how you react. So I'm now doing, you know, that to other people.
Yes.
And
so
a
coach is obviously so important to you. You know, having a coach is something that you really feel we all should have.
Like, even if you can't afford a coach yet, just, you know, like making sure that you are connecting with your upline, because what I find is a lot of people, they'll join and expect their upline to contact them and kind of keep them accountable, but you've got to be a good student as well. Be someone who is a joy to work with. Like, that's what I try to be a joy to work with for my upline, so that she will want to answer my calls, that when she says go do something or suggest something, I actually go do it.
Yes. Yes.
And the other thing you mentioned was meditation. The products that I use in my company, some of the products we use is essential oils. And if you don't know about the power of essential oils, they're really amazing for emotional stability. Like, seriously. So I use them a lot. Like, even coming on here, I use, like, to give you some examples, you know, I use spearmint for clear communication. So oil of clear communication, free speech, you know, whether you say like, I put on my throat chakra, like, I feel like I communicate well. Any citrus oils. So if you have anything that's citrus smelling, is very uplifting. Even if you have a lemon at home, like, scratch on the skin of the lemon and sniff that, and just tell me that you don't feel happier by it just changes the mood. Peppermint
just
oil
don't
is
put peppermint in your eye.
not in your
just
eye.
Don't put peppermint.
The reason I had it, I've got it in a roller, right? And I put it here, like I usually put it on my temples, like, but back here, and I put it on the back of my neck because it's very like, okay, I'm awake. And if you need to focus, it's really good for focus. But, you know, and whatever you need to do. But they're the sorts of things that I use for emotional stuff. I use things to calm my kids down, natural. But yeah, like, if I can help my kids, then I'm also, you know, a more emotionally stable. But you know what? Like, I crack it sometimes. I'm a mental screaming mama sometimes. Like, be quiet, I'm trying to do a video.
Totally. I've got my
Let's be honest.
4-year-old out there on the iPad, and I'm like, oh, I don't want her on the iPad, but she's going to have to be on there. Otherwise, I can't do this video. So I know what you mean. And she's been out there going,
Yeah.
Mom, on the door. And I'm like, yeah,
I know.
I get it.
Yeah, so that's it. Meditation is massive. I had depression many years ago for about 4 years, which is awful, and tried many things to help me get over that, and meditation healed me. So meditation
Wow.
is incredible for the brain, totally rewires the brain. So I work a lot on whatever I can do to manage my emotions, and my brain and my mindset is massive.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know we've got to go. I've kept you over time, but one last question, if you don't mind. What has been your most achievable or memorable favorite achievement? What is your most memorable or favorite achievement that you have in this industry overall?
My goodness.
So many.
No, it's network marketing and affiliate marketing. I kind of work together, and I've got awards in different companies, and obviously my company now that I'm finally found and staying with. But it was actually a couple of years ago when I was in affiliate marketing system, and I was trying to reach a goal in that, and the goal was so far away and just seemed really unachievable. And I think I needed to sign up about 30 people in that and upgrade about 10 more people. And I had less than a month to do it. And I worked with my coach. I wrote things down. I imagined every day. So I was visualizing myself up on stage, like to the T of how I'd feel when that person hugged me, what they were going to say to me, what I was going to say to them, what I was looking back in the crowd, who was watching me, looking at me, really proud of me. I just had this like dead set goal that I was going to do this, and I put out everything. And my coach often says, okay, Tracey, over the next 30 days, go and give as more value and put out more to the world than you've ever done before. And every time I go to reach a goal, that's what I have done. And so I was offering really great offers. I was like, okay, if you join up to this, I'm going to help you set up your blog. I'm going to do, and I promote it, and I paid for advertising for it. And like to the point where I got to the US, this is where the event was. It was 2 days, a day and a half before I was about to get on stage, and I was like, I was going to get one award, but I wanted the next one. And so I met these other women. I'm staying in a room with them, and they were like, let's go out downtown. I was like, sorry, got to call back my prospects. And they're like, what? And I was like, I'm sitting in my room, like I'm like typing, I'm messaging people back, and they're like, can we watch you make calls? And I was like, okay, so sure.
That's focus. Wow.
Yeah. I just had this like vision.
Yeah.
And I made all those calls, and they all just sat there watching, going, wow. And I was like, see, it wasn't hard. Like I'm not a massive, crazy, amazing closer or anything. I've learned to close better now. But I just thought, if I just make more calls than anybody else, if I connect with more people, if I message more people, if I put out a better offer, more value than anybody else, I'm going to make this. And the day before, I ranked up even more, and it was huge. It was like,
that is like incredible. Yeah, what an achievement. And that just shows when you're laser focused, when you've got that laser focus and that visualizing and the vision there. And, as you said, you were visualizing them hugging you on stage and all the excitement around that and being up on stage itself. And still they wanted to party and celebrate. And you're like, I'm going to ring people. You were so focused. So that shows how big of an achievement it can be when you are that focused. So thank you so much. We really do. Yeah, thank you. I do really appreciate you getting on here and giving us some of your nuggets. Thank you so much, Tracey.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. See ya.